All right, greetings. So I'm going to call this video the aftermath, the festering wound on the Manosphere. I don't generally make these videos very often anymore because I feel like everything that needed to be said generally has been said to the point where the greater lake of society, there's a lot of young men that aren't making the same decisions and making better decisions, and they're off doing their own thing younger. They realize the game's rigged, and so they're doing their own thing, which is great. And, I've seen guys that have become what I guess MGTOW really wanted, which was individuals to embrace their own life, self starters, and do your own thing, live your life, have fun. So this aspect, like as was said by Aaron Clary, so this isn't on the menu. Well, what else is on the menu to enjoy in life? And they're doing that. I mean, me myself, I'm a kind of a prototype big toe. Before it was even a term, a thing, I was out there. I realized the game was rigged, and I kind of looked at it and said, I'm not going to devote my life just to getting screwed and divorce and all that crap. And it's nice to see that there's some guys that are out there really living their best life. Like I look at some of the classic producers, like TFM, he's out doing his thing. Raging Golden Eagle, he's doing his things with his comics and whatnot. And love the War Band. It's just fun to listen to. And I see these guys, they're out doing and enjoying and having a good time, and plus there's some funny content with some of them. And I look back at all the research that was done ages ago. Most of the like stuff the PUAs or dating coaches or whatever you want to call them these days that they wholesale ripped off from MGTOW, kind of philosophers and research philosophers, guys like Stardust and Barbarossa. Things that people pointed out that you still see to this very day. They're saying, I look at it and I'm like, well, it comes to a point where you've pretty much said everything. You've said almost everything that can be said. So what then after that? And then you see kind of the division. You got the guys that are going to be more of the pickup artist type people. You got the guys that are going to go their own way. And then you got the incels, which, look, I agree with what others have said. Make this much money, go to Pahrump, Nevada. You can get a lady today. Get the poison out and realize it's not as big of a deal as you think. But what you will find with a lot of these black pill incels, just like with a lot of socialists, and no offense to people that are actually productive socialists, but you see these people, the reason that they are the way they are is they never wanted to try. They want everything handed to them. You're like, and I get it. Sometimes you're short. Sometimes your looks aren't the best. But life isn't fair. Let's screw this fairness crap. Like in my opinion, you're really a victim of society talking about equality. And even then, the whole shortness thing. I'm sorry, but like it is kind of true. Like if you're six something, yeah, women will look more favorably at you. But I mean, if you're in good shape and you're fun to fucking be around, that might be part of it too. You're a fun guy to actually be around. I've seen guys that are like 5'6" and slay a lot of fucking pussy because they were fun to be around, and plus they had almost no standards. I'm not even kidding. That guy was crazy. Like, hey, you want to dance? Hey, you want to sleep with me? He was that guy. So, I mean, if you're not willing to be, and one could argue the party culture isn't what it used to be, so I'll give you that. But if all you do is sit around and commiserate with other people on the internet, and this is where I say festering wound of the manosphere, if that's all you're doing, well, that's kind of on you. I mean, look, like some of the guys say where they're saying passport bros, you make decent money. Like say you drive truck like I do. When I choose to work, I drive truck and I make damn good money. No rent, no utilities. And then maybe you hop a plane and go to some other country. And there's a bunch of beddies out there that are basically like, hey, how you doing? You know, there's a lot of other places in the world that you might find the happiness that you actually want. But if you're like more like myself, or I'm pretty much content being by myself because I view relationships as just a giant fucking problem. Um, you can enjoy life. Like you can retire in America really young. Minimalism, buy a cheap house. Like I've told many people, you want to find cheap property? It's not hard. Go online, go on Google Maps, look at the name of a city, somewhere like anywhere, middle of the nowhere to wherever you're at, and then look at what a place costs, look what a lot costs. All over the place. You can find it if you want to. Then see if the place matches. Do a reconnaissance mission. You know, work hard, save your money, get something, and retire younger, and go out and live the best life you can. But this comes back to, and I'll even agree with the intellectual ape because I used to love Thinking Ape's content, but I got to be real about it. Like, he is right about this. Some people just maybe they were born to fail. You know how sometimes animals eat their young? Maybe the incel and the black pillars in nature, your mother would eat you because Like when your whole entire life revolves around, she said no to me once, now I'm going to sit here and stare at the internet for the rest of my life. Yeah, it's kind of you. You know, like wild thought, go out and do something. But I get it. That's too hard. And that's where, at this point in this era, yeah, this whole thing with the gender war and people talk about that. Yeah, sure, it is kind of a weird thing that we're dealing with, but it's kind of like the whole line, there is no spoon. Nothing is really real. Like if you choose, just like with politics, if you choose that you don't really care about politics, whatever way the wind blows, that's what's happening. Who cares? And you go, just like sports ball, you go out there and you just go out and enjoy your life. That's what everybody else is obsessed about. You go out and just have fun. I think that's more of a MGTOW message, by the way. So everybody else tells you you got to care about this, but you're going to choose to care about what you want to care about. So you go out and do it and enjoy it. That's a good way to be. Like if you feel like, the world's unfair, never going to get laid, all that crap, which not true. You can just go make some money and go down to Pahrump, Nevada. But if you feel like that's the life you're living in, then you might as well go out and have as much fun as absolutely possible. Because otherwise, what was the point of it all? Well, I got my chicken tendies and I stared at the screen today. I made that meme. No. Life is to be lived. But yay, you can't save everybody. There's always going to be some people who refuse to learn to swim when they live in the ocean. So, I don't know. Like I said, I think to some degree the inkwell is basically a festering wound on the manosphere. These are the guys that are the toxic waste that's left over after all the research. And I agree with what others have said in the sense of, a lot of those guys would have been better off being blue pill. So, I don't know. It's freedom, Phil. Take it easy. Like, subscribe.